Hello, this is Sidereal and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to draw cat boys with a twist. I've been seeing a lot of these alien cat edits online and I thought, wouldn't it be so cute if I turned them into anime boys? So that's what we're gonna do today. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I don't know when or where this trend technically started. I started seeing posts of these little alien cat things, these green ones, on Instagram a couple months ago, probably. And I don't know why, I just thought they were so cute. I wanted to do something about it. I wanted to do something with them. Originally, I was going to just create, little creatures and do like little creature designs. But then I thought, oh, but I could always just draw them as anime boys, and that's what I ended up doing. I didn't want to do two green ones though, so I ended up searching on Pinterest for like purple cat aliens, and instead of these like little alien cat creatures, I got these almost like eldritch horror angelic looking purple cat edits. And I don't know if this is like a specific style that has just been existing for a very long time, and I only just now discovered it, but I was obsessed. So obviously, I wanted to do a green one and a purple one, and I wanted them to be like from the same planet, and I wanted them to be best friends. So I just did my first sketch there, and now I'm going in with my I think this is probably, yeah, my second sketch. Is not my line art yet. This particular style that I've been doing recently has my thinner, sketchier line art, which is fine. It does take me a little bit longer to do because I want to make it look neater, or whatever. But yeah, as far as design goes, what I wanted to do for this one was obviously, I wanted to do a green and purple cat alien thing. I wanted them to look like a matching set, so I had to aesthetically, I guess, merge them together. And then I also wanted to make them emo, so I got some references for emo hair. And I think I don't copy these hairstyles precisely, but I do, for the purple one, I do borrow the reference photos, arm warmer sleeve things, because I thought they looked good. But yeah, um, not so much to say about getting started here. I futz around a little bit with these pants here. For some reason, looking back on this, they are giving a little bit of high school Gato Gojo vibes, which I think I would probably just copy for their personalities, just superimpose that on top of them. Um, I have a habit of when I design characters or duos in particular, I like to make one of them super ultra serious and then the other one a little bit more of a silly fun guy. And I don't know how I would subvert that. So I feel like with duos, that's usually it's a really appealing dynamic, so that's why I usually do it, but I don't know, might have to workshop it a little bit. I don't really know what to do for the guy in the backs, the green guy. He'll be green in a second here, but the guy in the backs, I didn't know what to do really with his outfit. For their storyline, I imagine what happens is they shipwreck on Earth and they normally look like this, but they can transform into regular cats or like cat-like beings. So they spend a lot of their time as these cute little cats. But when, the going gets tough, they turn into these like humanoid forms. So, as far as story goes, I'm thinking like magical girl adjacent, where shipwreck on Earth. They, are cats normally, or they live life as cats, and maybe they exist in human society in that way. And then when another alien threat comes from the sky, they do their magical girl transformation, or magical boy in this scenario, and turn into these humanoid cat aliens and fight off the invading aliens. I think that would be kind of silly and fun and interesting. obviously a lot of my stories are very sci-fi adjacent, but none of them take place on Earth, my sci-fi stories, just because I don't know. I feel like when you're writing sci-fi, the last place you want to be is on Earth. So I think for me at least my habit is to take people away from the planet. In fact, the start of Project Gate, Bowie is on Earth and he immediately gets abducted by aliens. And I don't know, I never want to keep a sci-fi story on Earth. It's just less interesting to me. So maybe to challenge myself, I would make this story take place on Earth or something. I don't know. Recently, Disney had put out their live action, I suppose, like, whatever, 2 hour long ad for their Hawaiian resort. And that made me really upset and really sad because Lilo and Stitch is a really great movie. And they totally, in my opinion, they totally butchered it. And I felt really upset about that too. So this is also maybe a little bit of an answer to that. Just we could probably have done better. I don't know what was going on during that time period where Disney movies were just like really good. But they came out with a lot of sci-fi adjacent movies. I think this was like the era of Treasure Planet and then obviously Lilo and Stitch, and they were really interesting. They were really interesting movies that I don't know, they really challenged the Disney formula. And I think that at the time Disney was like about to go under financially, so that's why. They were like, all right, go all the way, do whatever you want, I guess. Or this was like, I've heard several different stories. I think either the animating animation studio in Florida was about to close, or they were going bankrupt, and they were like, yeah, do whatever you want. I'm thinking like, what other movies came out during this period? Atlantis, I think, came out during this period too. And I also really liked Atlantis. These were all really good movies. I don't understand why we lost the plot somehow so dramatically. I don't know, it bothers me. It's rant over. I feel like people just aren't pushing their stories, or at least these big animating animation studios. They aren't pushing their stories as much as they used to. They aren't taking as many risks as they used to, and I think that's just like a habit of being like victim to online, discourse about your movies or whatever. It's never going to be a perfect movie. And when you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one. That kind of mindset. So that's usually how I approach. At least that's how I approach my stories. Some people are really gonna love it and they're really gonna like vibe, and then others are probably gonna be like, "Yeah, why? Oh, but you could have done this," or "No, I think you should have done this," or "This would have been better." But baby, that's what the fanfic and AUs are for. That's why we have that's why we, make up our own versions online and do our own little thing. I think that's the point. The story can exist as it is, and then the fans, if they don't like it, they can AUify it or do an alternate universe, you know. But that's just my opinion. I think stories should exist without fandom input from the jump, and then fans can, do their thing after the fact. Because I also think a lot of the really good stories were like pre-internet boom, pre-super massive like discourse online. Like the OG Star Wars stories, I'm sure everybody would have lost their minds if they found out, George Lucas was planning on making Luke and Leia siblings. I'm sure they would have been like, "No, that's my OTP, that's my ship. Why would you do that?" And it certainly seems that way when, the story starts out and George has them smooch. It's like, why would you do that? It's because he didn't write anything out, you know? So, much to think about. Much to think about. But I don't think that would have happened, at least in the modern day, quote unquote, just because people are way too online and people are way too aware and there are leaks everywhere and all these things. It's really hard to kind of just organically come out with a story without the input of people online. So, but I don't sympathize with Disney in that regard. I think that Disney just wants to make money, and their live action Lilo and Stitch is just, that 2 hour long advertisement for their fucking resort in Hawaii, which, by the way, sucks ass. Um, just in general, in the way that they have treated, Native Hawaiians in their conquest is super annoying to me specifically. But yeah, now I'm going in with the colors for this one. I wanted my alien guy to be green in the back, and then this front one is obviously going to be purple. I wanted them to look like a matching set, but I wanted them to also look maybe a little bit more distinct from each other. Maybe they're from different areas of the planet, or maybe this is just like what the variation of the species would look like. In my mind, I also have a few other like color variations and other, tail styles or whatever, but not in this one. This one's just the purple and green one because that's what I had time for today. Um, I also colored the line art, so I wanted them to be. These are all going to be like monochrome. I didn't go in and give them like specific palettes. I just colored them kind of one flat color and called it a day. This one was super easy for me. I don't know. Just wasn't feeling very like I want to go all in or whatever. But I do like the I do like the star tail and I do like the like antennas. I like how I differentiated those. I'm gonna change this mouth here. Um I think I'm happier with the purple one than I am with the green one. The green one I don't love so much because I don't love the hair. I think I would have to go in and he looks like he's got a little bit of a bob going on. The bob is bobbing and I would like it to bob a little bit less, so I might go in and change that. Um but yeah, going in with the hair. I like their ears too. I think that when you draw cat boys or cat girls or whatever, I think there are two camps that you fall into. You either give them two sets of ears, which is just cat ears on top and then human ears on the bottom, or you give them just one set of ears and then you like move them around on the head. I am pro just giving them one set of ears and they belong on the top of the head because that's where cat ears go. But what do I know? I'm just a guy. My opinions don't necessarily matter or influence the way things are or whatever. But yeah, going in with the color here, or at least for the clothes, super not detailed. I don't even think I variate. I don't even think I do any variation for this. I just kind of slap it on there, which is okay. I really like his outfit too. I think this is also why it reminds me a little bit of Geto Gojo is because of these pants. I like a good um loose fitting harem pant on an OC. I think it adds a lot of like dimension or whatever. For a second I wanted their tongues to be like each other's colors, but then I thought maybe not a good idea. Um where am I right now? Oh yeah, I'm going with the hair over here. But yeah, this is what I mean why when I say the bob is bobbing. I need to revisit that probably and change it a little bit. But yeah, otherwise, not anything too revolutionary here. Just some alien cat boys. I don't know if people have done this before. I would think so because you know, I don't know. I think it's a fun concept. Why wouldn't anybody do this before me? Kind of vibes. But I haven't seen anything. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen any like people draw their OCs like this or create OCs in this way. So that's why I wanted to do it. But yeah, I think we are heading towards the end here. I think they complement each other really well. I think the green and the purple looks really good together. For this purple guy, I also go in and give him wings in post. And I think I didn't do this, but I think what I'm going to do for the green guy is give him like tentacles or something just to make him a little bit more Eldritch horror-y. I think they're both like, oh wow, so cute, so normal, so so not crazy looking, and then, the green guy has like tentacles that come out of his mouth or his back or something, and then, the purple one can fly and has these angel wings and, can rewind time or something silly like that. I don't know. I think that like that's fun, but that's what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.